Hey everyone, what are you at? This is Pam. This is going to be a little bit of a different video. Just wanted to show you my progress so far on Mirabilia's Santa's Magic. This is it here. And to share with you a little bit of a panic attack I had the other day after I had started stitching. So, this chart, on the back of the chart where they show you your supply list, they give you the dimensions of the chart. Okay, I don't know if this is gonna be clear or not. There we go. It says the stitch count is 234 stitches by 276 stitches. Every chart I have ever done, this is width by height. Okay? Which would lead you to believe that this piece is going to be smaller across than it is tall. Okay? So my fabric that I had cut, all right, my fabric here, I turned it so that the tallest part was on the vertical. Okay? Even though on the picture it does look a bit wider, but it's only 40 stitches in the difference. So I was thinking, okay, well, it must be taller because his staff is a little bit higher than his head. So that must account for, you know, the difference in the height. It must actually be taller, again, basing it off of the stitch count. So I had started stitching on it and had worked on it with my fabric oriented this way when I make a working copy. Now I don't want to show you the chart, so I'm just going to show you this side portion like this of where I had photocopied the top portion of the chart. Mirabilia's do not have the grid lines marked, and because Mirabilia's come on one large sheet and I photocopied it onto 8.5 by 14 pages, I need to know where the overlap was going to be, so that if I stitch these stitches, for example, these will already be done on the next page. This is where the next page starts. So because to make that easier, I decided to count the grids. So I labeled the chart, and when I did, I started to panic. Because I did this on my break at work, and the fabric and everything was at home. But when I did this, the number of stitches down was 250 grid lines, and the number of stitches across was 290 grid lines. So it was wider than it was tall by 40 stitches. And I knew I had turned this fabric already. So when I got home, I very quickly pulled this off of my Q-snap. I'm going to pull this down so you can see probably. I found the center of my fabric and I started counting out in 10 by 10 stitches all the way across. And I don't know if you can see this because I'm filming this with my old camera, but the head of this pin is where my chart will finish. So I still have a couple inches left here. And across on this side, I'm going to end up with the same thing, a couple of inches. I'm very lucky because I cut my fabric with a 3-inch border all the way around, which would bring it into about here and here. So the fact that I turned it, by the time you stitch those extra 40 stitches, it still gives me enough space on the ends that I don't have to rip all of this stitching out. Because I thought I was going to have to tear this out. I panicked when I got to work. I was like, oh my gosh, I've got all of this done. I've got all this Kreinik in here and up through here. Again, I don't know how well you can see this because again, I'm filming this on an old camera, but this is all Kreinik. I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to have to rip all that out? But I don't have to. So, 20 years I've been stitching, over 20 years. I've never had a chart that was labeled incorrectly with the stitch count being listed as height by width. So this is obviously an error. I've checked other Mirabilia charts and they are all the standard width by height. So this is labeled backwards. I'm sending an email to Mirabilia to advise them, to Wilshult, to advise them of the error because they do have a corrections page on their website. There are no corrections listed for this chart. So I just wanted to pass it along. I know some other people are also stitching this. I didn't want someone to make the same mistake by accident and orient their fabric in the wrong direction, especially if you had a piece that was like just the right size. Thankfully, when I purchased this piece, I purchased it large enough. So anyway, have a great day, everyone. Happy stitching, and I'll be back with an update, my regular update soon. Bye.